The wine glass shattered against the hardwood floor, a crystalline scream slicing through the hum of polite conversation. My body froze. Every muscle seized as the sound cut through the air like glass through flesh. The room fell silent, eyes turning toward me like spotlights in a darkened stage. My wife, Claire, stood at the head of the dining table, her face carved in fury, every tremor in her lips vibrating through my chest. "You don't deserve to be here," she hissed. Her voice was low, venomous, the kind of tone that makes the body instinctively flood with cortisol. My pulse surged, my amygdala flaring with confusion and humiliation. Around us, her friends, not mine, shifted uneasily, forks clinking, gazes falling away as if my shame might be contagious. I wanted to speak, to demand why, but my throat constricted. My vagus nerve seemed frozen. All I could do was stand there, letting the weight of her words drag me down. I hadn't even wanted to come tonight. Something about this dinner had felt wrong. Off-key. Claire had been distant all week, her smiles mechanical, her touch reduced to muscle memory. I told myself it was work, her new promotion, the late-night calls whispered from the balcony, her sudden obsession with meetings. I believed her because love makes the brain gullible, dopamine chasing old memories instead of facing new patterns. But earlier, as she adjusted the candles and rearranged the silverware for the 10th time, a cold pulse of dread had flickered in my gut. "Why don't we ever invite my friends over?" I joked. Her eyes had flashed, just for a second, before she turned away. "They wouldn't fit in," she said. Her tone had been flat. Final. I laughed it off, but now, standing in the wreckage of her anger, those words returned like static in my skull. The air felt heavy with garlic, merlot, and tension. Elise, her quiet friend, twisted her napkin until it tore. Mark, the coworker who just helped with reports, sat back with a smirk. My gut tightened. There was something in his eyes, a satisfaction that didn't belong at a dinner table. I wanted to drag Claire aside, to break through whatever wall she'd built, but her words kept echoing, "You don't deserve to be here." My hands trembled as I placed the napkin down. "Claire," I managed, my voice hoarse. "What's going on?" She didn't answer. Her mask snapped back into place, smile bright and brittle. "Let's not ruin the evening," she said. Her guests murmured awkwardly. I couldn't breathe. I stumbled out, the hallway closing in like a tunnel. My chest was tight, my pulse erratic, my nervous system screaming for escape. Outside, the autumn air cut through my lungs like ice water. I leaned against the wall, breathing raggedly, every inhale sharp. My mind raced through the last few months, the distance, the evasions, the text I'd seen 2 weeks ago. "Can't wait to see you." She'd said it was work. And I'd believed her, because oxytocin does that. It binds, blinds, and silences reason. My phone buzzed. A message. "Elise. Just 4 words, meet me at the coffee shop. Now." Confusion tangled with dread. Elise? She'd never reached out before. But my curiosity, that primal pull toward truth, overrode hesitation. The cafe on 5th glowed weakly through the fog, its neon flickering like a pulse. Inside, Elise sat hunched, her coat still on. She looked terrified. "I'm sorry," she whispered before I even sat down. "I didn't know how to tell you." My stomach dropped. "Tell me what?" She slid her phone across the table. A photo. Claire, laughing, radiant, her hand resting on Mark's arm. The timestamp, last night. When she'd said she was working late. I stared until the image blurred. My body went numb, but my chest burned. Adrenaline spiked, heart rate surging, blood roaring in my ears. "There's more," Elise said, swiping to another picture. Claire and Mark, closer this time. Too close. Her face soft, his hand brushing her cheek. "Why are you showing me this?" I rasped. "Because I saw them," she said, tears welling. "Last week. At his place." Her words detonated. My chest constricted. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. The photos weren't just proof, they were betrayal crystallized into pixels. When I finally stumbled out of the cafe, the night felt colder. My heartbeat was erratic, grief and fury warring in my bloodstream. Her voice from the dinner echoed in my mind, "You don't deserve to be here." Now I understood. I went home. The apartment smelled like burnt garlic and lies. The table was still littered with half-finished plates, the ghosts of laughter hanging in the air. Claire was in the kitchen, scrubbing a pan like she could wash away guilt. "We need to talk," I said. She froze. "About what?" I showed her the photos. Her eyes flickered, panic, guilt, then defiance. "It's not what it looks like." "Then tell me what it is," I snapped. "Because it looks like you're in love with someone else." Silence. Her shoulders trembled, and then she whispered, not with sorrow, but accusation. "You've been gone for months, Daniel. You don't see me anymore." Her words sliced deeper than I expected. Had I? Maybe. Maybe work had consumed me. But that didn't justify this. It didn't justify him. "Elise showed me everything," I said, voice trembling. And for the first time, Claire's expression cracked, not from guilt, but fear. "It was a mistake," she murmured. "But it wasn't." "Not really. It was a choice." And then, as I turned to leave, her voice caught me mid-step. "I'm pregnant." The world stopped. My heart froze in my chest. I turned slowly, her eyes wide, wet, pleading. But in that silence between us, the longest, cruelest silence of all, one truth echoed louder than the rest. I didn't know whose child she was carrying. And that uncertainty cut deeper than any betrayal ever could.